Everything that you want, all of your desires for leadership, love, legacy, purpose, and health, and even wealth is written in the star maps. The star maps, the actual constellation, the starry sky, is the GPS system to get you from where you are to where you want to be. And I am Antoinette. I am a Babylonian astrologer. I am what's called a royal astrologer. I practice astrology as it was back in ancient Babylon, Mesopotamia, Akkad, Sumer, and ancient Greece, back when the um, the priests were the astrologers, and they were the primary counsel for the royalty. And this was the royalty that reigned for many generations, had very big, strong, successful, impactful, influential empires that standed the test of time. Every move that they made was calculated in harmony with the starry sky. And this is what I do today. I guide leaders, visionaries, change makers, those who are leading the new era to really align their life with their desires and with the star maps to um, attain their heart's desires for the new world that we're ushering in. So, this is the month of August, and we have some big celestial events, including the eclipses that will cause world changes and changes in our personal lives, especially in leadership and in love. And also, we have movements of Venus and Mars changing constellations, and we have Jupiter heliacally rising this month. So, first of all, Venus left Leo, where the south node of the moon is, and she entered a sidereal, the constellation of Virgo. So remember, Virgo is, she's literally an angel with wings. That's the constellation she's depicted as. She's the Virgin, she's Mother Mary, and Venus is her in her evening star phase as Aphrodite. So when Aphrodite comes and moves into the constellation of the Virgin, and Aphrodite is the goddess of sensual love, material love, sensual pleasure, and even prosperity, and moves into the place of the Virgin, then there is a critical clearing out happening around matters of relationship and prosperity, and it's so that we can have more peace in our lives going forward. So we can we can see a lot more quarreling amongst um, in relationships, more criticism, more more calculating and precision in love, and also more blunt conversations as far as love and money goes. We can also also Saturn and Neptune are involved, with Mars making a T square to the Saturn, and Neptune oppose Venus. So so we can see even some delays or unexpected expenses when it comes up to matters of finances. So it's not a terrible time, but it is time to do your accounting, do your calculating. Um, you know, what's coming up is so that there's more clarity on what's misaligned. Okay, so that whenever Venus moves into Libra, we can benefit from more peace and harmony in September. But then October, Venus will retrograde back into Virgo. So I'll talk about that later in upcoming videos when the time is right. But so right now, just try not to be too critical and calculating when it comes to matters of love. You can be more discerning for sure, but it is a good time for those who are single, especially, to practice celibacy. And the fixed star Zanya is here. So Venus will grace the fixed star Zanya um, around the time of the eclipses in the middle of August. So August 12th to 14th, Venus will be conjunct the fixed star Zanya. And this is where, if we have been using our life force energy more inwardly, creatively, we can really benefit from we can have better health if we aren't dispersing our energy too much in matters of intimacy. So, or in misaligned relationships. So, of course, inside a respectful marriage covenant, where there have been vows and commitments, and relationships where there's commitments and and um, both parties are adhering to, they're following the plan and they're on the same page, then the life force energy can increase during this time. So that fixed star Zanya is actually the star of the harlot. And this is where our sexual energy can really be amplified into life force energy whenever we contain it um, and be used for great health instead of being dispersed, needlessly scattered about, or or where others can take our life force energy um, if we're not careful, and if we're not following, if we're not discerning for ourselves. So, in matters of love and money, that's what's happening. Let me know your comments below and what you're experiencing in your love life this month. I actually have most of my clients keep me on retainer over long periods of time, to really keep me on their primary counsel the way the ancient royalty did. But also, I have an Aphrodite activation, which shows where I read your star map, and we activate your love codes in there to show what shifts that you need to make to magnetize and level up your love life to from wherever you are to where you desire it to be. And I will leave that in the description below with my other offerings there. So it's a really good timing to have your Aphrodite activation this month. And that also there's an opportunity to enter into my 12-week long Emerald Portal, which is it's a private one-on-one with me, where I actually take you through your star map in real time, where we change and shift what's happening in the quantum field and in the 3D to get you on track with your love life, and you actually manifest your heart's desires. So no matter where you are in your love life, um, people have gone from completely stagnant, heartbroken, even going through a divorce, to where all parties are um, have the best outcome, highest outcome, and then move on to greater relationships and beautiful partnerships and marriages. So I'll leave the link in the description below. And also, we have the eclipses. So the first set of eclipses the first eclipse is a solar eclipse, which happens in the constellation of Cancer, and it's on April 12th, and this is going to it's going to the place where we can see it. The path of totality sweeps across the Arctic, eastern Greenland, western Iceland, then crosses northern Spain from its Atlantic coast, and then to the Mediterranean, including the so it even the northeast corner of Portugal. So this solar eclipse is Europe's first total solar eclipse since 1999, okay? And it's Spain's first total solar eclipse in over a century. So these places are going to be affected the most. And also, there's partial visibility in Ireland, the UK, France, Italy, the Balkans, North Africa. So they'll see over 90% coverage. And most of the rest of Europe and West Africa see a lighter partial eclipse. But so there so with the solar eclipse, there will be changes. Is going to affect leadership of the countries more so than anything else. But so we'll see changes in leadership coming from this solar eclipse over the next 3 months, and and be more careful during the solar eclipse. I don't recommend watching the solar eclipse even with those special glasses. I recommend staying inside, meditating, praying, fasting during the eclipse, cleaning your house, things like that. Just peaceful, quiet, cleaning out time, prayers, because the eclipse time is when the darkness is let in more. The light is blocked. So, and the ancients would say the light of Christ is in the sun. So this is blocked. So that's why more prayers and fasting need to happen. Don't be traveling or and don't make any major changes or decisions up to a week before or after the eclipse. So the eclipses have this place of it's like it can be this like this insatiable desire and hunger that can overcome some people, and it can cause even crisis in for some people if they're not right with their soul, and it gets you right. It's like a portal that takes you through. If you're not right with your soul, it causes crisis to for that to happen. So this is happening especially in those countries, for those countries that I named. Um, so be careful there. Um, and then I'll talk more about the lunar eclipse that's on August 28th. But we have Jupiter coming heliacally visible as a morning star. Jupiter has been invisible under the rays of the sun since June 24th. That's in my location that I've seen. I saw Jupiter go down under the rays of the sun June 24th here in central Texas. So it's a little different by latitude, but yeah, been invisible for everyone for at least a month and a half. And then so whenever Jupiter entered Cancer, the constellation of Cancer, June 4th or 6th, around there, we noticed more peace and more more blessings, more miracles. Things were easier, more joy. and we saw there was more peace in the Middle East during this window until Jupiter went invisible June 24th, and then that peace wasn't we couldn't access it as easily. So this is the planet. This was Zeus, the king of the gods in ancient times. It was Gilgamesh in even ancient or more ancient times. So depending on what culture you're familiar with and those stories, this is the king of the gods, the quite jovial Jupiter, who blesses blesses with abundance and expansion and miracles uh, and more joy and just makes life more fun and easy. And we even actually, during the conjunction, whenever Jupiter was exact conjunct the sun, we saw in the news, I saw some gurus um, fell, so passed on from this life into the next. So it's quite literally uh, Jupiter is the archetype of the guru, of the great teacher. And whenever he goes invisible, then we can see this happening in the world too, where gurus go invisible or can fall. And we did see that happen in the news. And yeah, so Jupiter comes visible again June 14th. And depending on your latitude, it could be a couple days before or later. But watch for Jupiter in the morning sky and expect blessings from Jupiter. And especially in this location of the constellation of Cancer, where Jupiter has all of his full powers. So whenever he was in Gemini um, before June, and for the year before that, um, his full powers weren't available to us because he was debilitated. So expect whenever he comes visible, more blessings with your ancestors, your lineage, your home, your family, your legacy. We can even see home prices. Homes will become more accessible to more families, so that more families can have homes. And I actually don't recommend buying a home uh, inside that time of the eclipse portal, though. So 1 week before or after August 12th, I would say to delay any home purchases until at least a week or so after August 12th. So Jupiter is coming visible, and planet of blessing, expansion, justice, kingship. We can experience more peace on the planet. And so also he'll be trine Saturn, and that can really help the markets even more. Even though Venus is debilitated in Virgo, it can still it can give more protection to the markets. So the other eclipse, August 28th, is the lunar eclipse, and it is on the fixed stars Fomalhaut in Aquarius, while the North Node, so the North Node will conjunct Fomalhaut. The Sun and the South Node will conjunct Regulus during that time. So Fomalhaut, where the eclipse is the star of the mystic skywatcher. It's the star of the priest. It's where the sacred holy waters are being poured over humanity, the waters of knowledge. So it's a place of knowledge, of priesthood, of a new soul direction. So we can release old rulership over our own lives and open to a new soul-aligned direction. So these eclipses that have been happening this year and last year on these points of Aquarius and Leo are really important for ushering in new leadership. We can be letting go, and we'll see the letting go of old ways of leadership and coming into new ways of leadership that's better for uh, the trajectory of humanity. So this lunar eclipse will be, it's a partial lunar eclipse with 96% coverage over North and South America, particularly Eastern and Central Canada, um, and the US, Mexico, Central America, the Caribbean. So the eclipse will be visible there essentially overnight. And it'll also be visible in Europe, including the UK and Scandinavia, Iceland, parts of Greenland, Africa, the Middle East, Antarctica, Eastern Pacific, and it's going to rise over the Pacific and set over Africa, Europe, and the Middle East as the night progresses. So these are the places where the lunar eclipse will affect the most people. Okay, so just like I said with the solar eclipse, I would say the same for the lunar eclipse too. Remember, the light is blocked. The full moon light is blocked, and we can so when the light is blocked, we need to fast. We need to pray, pray good prayers, and focus on what you do want, and try not to make any big changes or decisions a week before or after the eclipses. So yeah, and remember, they get any crisis that comes up, it gets you right with your soul. That's the purpose of it, because the eclipses are there for that. And yeah, so I will leave the links in the description below for how to book an activation with me, depending on if it's for all of your life. The birthrights activation is great um, to get you from where you are, from if you're really going through a transition point and you need that guidance to make sure you're really protected on your path. And as far as timing goes, that's the birthrights activation. And I also have a star map activation and an electional timing activation, as well as the ones for love in the description below. So yes, be well, say good prayers, and be safe during this eclipse time.